Hey guys, welcome to Nerdy News, where we talk about everything that happened nerdy this week. So we'll start off with the bad news first. You know what it is. A legend in this world has passed on. Adam West, best known as Batman in the 1966 television series, has lost a short battle to leukemia and died peacefully surrounded by his family Friday night. He was 88 years young. His family released a statement Saturday evening. They said, "Our dad always saw himself as the bright knight and aspired to make a positive impact on his fans' lives. He was and always will be our hero." If you didn't know, or you're new to the channel, I'm a huge Adam West fan. I'm a huge Batman fan. Adam West was my first Batman. He was my father's first Batman. He's a family tradition. In my eyes, he was as important to the genre as Stan Lee. He was a man that chose to accept and love this character alongside his fans. In a world where big budget movie actors play Batman, he was the one that fans had access to because of his approachability. He was a grandpa Batman type with a smile on his face and the one we could count on. His campy adaptation defined a pop culture generation filled with cool cars, beautiful women, and funky music. It's easy to love Batman, but Adam West made it easier. He proved his humility and connection to fans in Comic-Con in 2014 when he was asked about the Batman TV series being canceled. He said, "The only thing I thought is that it would be the end of me." And it was for a bit. But then I realized that we created this zany, lovable world. I looked around and I see the adults. I see you grew up with me, and you believe in the adventure. I never believed this would happen, that I would be up here with illustrious people like yourselves. I'm so grateful. I'm the luckiest actor in the world, folks, to have you still hanging around. No, Adam, we were the lucky ones. We all knew the day was going to come as these actors get older, as these people, these icons in the nerd world get older, Stan Lee, Adam West. We know this is something we have to look to and know it's going to happen. It's inevitable. One thing that's constant is death, unfortunately. This was a hard one.
This was a very hard one. I know that for you it was your first Batman, and for me it was my first introduction into the campiness of Batman. So it's really heartbreaking to see an icon and someone that everyone looks up to. You can see him at all of these Comic-Cons. He already had shows booked for this fall coming up. So for this to happen so quickly, it must have been something sudden.
I didn't even know he had leukemia?
No, they kept it under wraps. And normally when something like that happens to someone who's super famous like Adam West, they try to keep things like that hidden because it's a personal thing and they want to keep that with the family.
There's nothing better in life than when you leave, your memory stays. So if anything, at least he has that, and I know I will personally keep his memory with me forever.
He's a lasting legacy that will live on for decades to come.
He will be another one in the checklist of the 1966 TV series that has now passed on. Cesar Romero in 1994, Yvonne Craig in 2015, and of course Frank Gorshin in 2005. But boy, this one hurts the most.
Yeah.
So let's move out of that. That's a difficult story. We want to get into some stories that are at least interesting to hear and not so upsetting.
On a brighter note.
Tom Hardy is director Guy Ritchie's #1 choice to star as Jafar in the live-action Aladdin. A publicist for Guy Ritchie stated, "Guy is a huge fan of Tom's work and securing him would be a major coup. There have been conversations, and although nothing is set in stone and things are subject to change, he's certainly one of Guy's favorite choices. It just depends on schedules whether he'll be able to sign up." Okay, so Tom Hardy as Jafar. What do you think about that?
I don't think I really like this choice. I'm a big Tom Hardy fan and I will follow and support just about anything that he's in because he is a great actor. However, I don't foresee him as Jafar. Jafar is very tall, skinny, langly. He's very snake-like. And I think Tom Hardy
has to turn into a snake.
Yeah, exactly, from the animation. I mean, he doesn't really fulfill that character. He's very short and stocky. I mean, he did a great job as Bane and I didn't think we would think that about him. And I mean, he's a great actor, but I don't feel like Jafar is it.
It just doesn't feel like a Jafar.
No.
I always imagine Ben Kingsley as Jafar. That's who I would pick. What do you guys think? I don't know. This one's a tough one. I just don't think... I love Tom Hardy, but I just can't see him as Jafar.
Now, speaking of rumors about Aladdin, there have been rumors about who's going to voice Genie. Originally, it was offered to Kevin Hart, but he turned it down, don't know why. But now there are talks of Will Smith voicing Genie. I think this could be a good pick because he's very animated, he's very fun and outgoing, so pretty good choice in my opinion.
Yeah, he is very cartoony, very animated. I could definitely see Will Smith playing that. I mean, talk about some heavy shoes to fill.
Absolutely.
Robin Williams is a great, I mean, he's a great, somebody's gonna go down in history as like one of the best ever.
Yes.
Voice actors, at least. I like, of course, just actor I love too. But yeah. Ooh, man, there's some heavy shoes to fill there.
That's right. Maybe that's why Kevin Hart was like, I'm not
don't
gonna touch it.
Now, speaking of Kevin Hart, I could see him as Iago, though.
Ooh, definitely. He would be a great Iago. He's very animated. He's very exaggerated, just like Iago. So I think he'd be a great choice for
You could probably put him on somebody's shoulder, too. But no, I'm down with it. I think Will Smith could do a good job. Now, I don't know why or if they're trying to get Gilbert Gottfried on it, because obviously that would be the choice.
That would be the perfect choice, although he's had that big falling out with Hollywood recently, so I'm not sure if they're going to bring him back. Although no one quite has a voice like Gilbert Gottfried, so we'll have to see.
That voice! Whatever. Gilbert Gottfried, man. Woo! But if they can't get him, I would definitely go after him. We're also learning that Cowboy Bebop the anime will be getting a live-action TV series. So Tomorrow Studios is partnering with Midnight Radio to produce a TV series for American audiences. Now, Chris Yost is on this one. He's from Thor, The Dark World, and Ragnarok. He's going to be penning the adaptation. And that's it. That's all the information we have.
That's
no further details.
Got. It was also recently announced that Ducktales is going to be rebooted in August. Now, this is coming from Disney XD, and they gave an interview recently with Entertainment Weekly where it showed off the new character designs. The new character designs are very similar to the past designs, but they're upgraded to fit with current trends. However, Donald Duck's design has remained the same because he is a classic character, so they're not really going to revamp that too much. Now, this storyline is going to follow Scrooge McDuck and his 3 nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. And I'm kind of excited for this because I think it's going to be interesting. I was always a big fan of DuckTales growing up, and I always wanted to dive into that swimming pool of gold that Scrooge McDuck had. So I hope we kind of get that, and it'll be interesting to see what kind of adventures they come up with.
It seems like they've got the art right.
Yeah,
They haven't gone too far away from what the original was. Right. And of course, they want to put it with the new times, so they've kind of adjusted that. But it looks good. I can't wait for that. I was a big fan of it. Big fan of it. Stranger Things are everywhere.
That's right.
But the number one thing I feel like that they've sold the most of Stranger Things is the soundtrack. That music. We all know the music by now if you've seen Stranger Things. Well, that's not the only way you're going to be able to hear it. You are now going to be able to buy a cassette soundtrack of Stranger Things. Now, the score is by Kyle Dixon and Michael Stein of the band Survive. What's really cool, though, is the packaging is designed to look like a VHS sleeve. The cassette case looks like a VHS tape. And then the tape is red, which is just, you know, whatever.
This is really cool.
This is going to be sold exclusively to Urban Outfitters starting July 14th.
If 13 Reasons Why has taught us anything, that cassette tapes are really making a comeback.
Are they back in stock? I'm not so sure that one should come back.
No, definitely not. Now, ending around the web this week is something that I'm really excited about, and it's an announcement I think kind of went under the radar, but there's going to be a Mary Poppins remake. This is set to release in Christmas of 2018, so we have about a year and a half to wait for it. It's going to take place 25 years after the original in London's mid-1930s. Now, this is going to follow Michael Banks, who's the original boy from the movie, and he is an adult with his 3 children. Michael suffers a personal tragedy, which brings Mary Poppins back to help Michael with his children. Now, it's going to have some reoccurring characters. We have Michael, of course, and then his sister Jane. We're going to have a street lamplighter, Jack, and of course, Mary Poppins, who's going to be played by Emily Blunt. We're going to have a new character named Cousin Topsy, and she's played by Meryl Streep. So that's interesting. We've got a lot of big names so far in this. We don't know if any of the old cast is going to come back and make a small appearance. It'd be really exciting if Julie Andrews could make just a tiny little cameo, like a Stanley cameo-esque. I don't know, but it would be interesting.
This is by Disney?
This is by Disney.
Okay, so I'm sure it's going to probably be good. Now, if you guys are fans of Mary Poppins, watch this movie if you haven't seen it. I feel like this is under the radar too. Saving Mr. Banks. Tom Hanks plays Walt Disney, and I never knew how much he fought for Mary Poppins to come out. That's basically what the show is. I don't want to give a whole lot away, but it's a very, very good show. If you're a Mary Poppins fan and you want to know the history of Mary Poppins and a lot of the history of Disney, Walt Disney, watch that movie. Good movie. Now, speaking of movies, we only have one thing to talk about this week of what we watched, and that, of course, is the Black Panther trailer.
Absolutely.
So this trailer had a very dark tone to it.
Yes, it did.
It was unlike anything we've seen in any Marvel movie, any superhero movie for that matter. We finally got to see Wakanda on screen, which looked amazing, and it was actually like a 1:50 trailer, so this was a pretty full trailer. You're talking about a year away. This movie's like a year away. So I was pretty shocked that they had this much of the movie done to even make a trailer. Now, considering that there wasn't a whole lot in the trailer to sort of get excited for as far as storyline. You really had to read into a lot of it. But at the beginning of the trailer, we see Claw, and he's sort of talking about the myth of Wakanda. And everybody's sort of looking at it as sort of a savage area somewhere in South America, and he's like, no, no, no. I'm the only one that's been in there.
And made it out alive.
And made it out alive. And of course, he's talking about Age of Ultron when he went in there to grab some vibranium. So of course, we see the normal characters. Chad Boseman as Black Panther. The suit looks amazing. A lot of upgrade looking stuff. A lot more CG suit, it seems like, than what we saw in Civil War. But we also get to see Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger. We saw Michonne in there. Forrest Whitaker.
I know. He just kind of snuck up on you.
Lupita Nyong'o It had a very Predator feel to it.
It did.
It did feel like a lot of Predator. And I would have to say this is probably going to have the best soundtrack in any Marvel. Along with Guardians of the Galaxy, I'd say these are going to be some amazing soundtracks on it. And it seems like the storyline, and nobody really knows, but this is what people are thinking, that this is going to be after Civil War. His father, of course, was killed, and now he is going back to Wakanda to sort of take his throne.
Yeah, it makes sense, like at the opening scene when he's kind of going through the waterfall and then everybody's there celebrating his return.
I mean, he is now royalty, but he has to sort of find that. He doesn't know how to be a king.
Yeah, how does he be a king and a good man, or can he be both?
Yeah, and not be the guy in the dark fighting people off of trees where he kicked that dude in the car.
That looked really cool.
That was awesome.
There were a few scenes in this trailer that made me think that this was going to be 3D, so if it is 3D, I have to see this in 3D.
This is what I'm very excited about. I think this is every bit as fresh and new and exciting to the superhero genre as, say, Wonder Woman for DC.
Absolutely it is.
I think Aquaman will be in that same right.
Yes.
And for Marvel, I would say Black Panther and Guardians of the Galaxy were those. It's a fresh new take. We've got plenty of Iron Man and Captain America and things like that. Maybe they're getting a little old. I don't know, maybe a little stale with DC. Still got Batman and Superman. Still maybe a little stale. Well, here you go. We got some new fresh blood in here.
Right.
And it's exciting. I can't wait to see it. We gotta wait all the way till I think February, though. My
defeated.
Something to look forward to, though.
That's right.
Now, up with Vidya Games. We are not going to talk about anything Vidya Game related because next week is E3, of course, and we will do a special Nerdy News E3 special. The whole video probably will be about what we saw at E3. Now, getting into comics, a lot of comics this week. Let me read off a few of them that are pretty interesting. So we got Aquaman Volume 6, number 24, Bane Conquest number 2, Batman Volume 3, number 24, Cyborg Volume 2, number 13, Dark Knight 3, The Master Race, number 9. They're reintroducing the DC Looney Tunes series, so this one's going to be the Superman and Bugs Bunny 100-page Super Spectacular number 1. We got Flintstones DC number 12, Injustice 2, number 3, Harley Quinn Volume 3, number 21, Wonder Woman Steve Trevor number 1. We're getting Game of Thrones Clash of Kings number 1, and of course this will be written by George Martin. Walking Dead number 168, Spawn number 274. We're also getting all new Guardians of the Galaxy number 3, Black Bolt number 2, Darth Vader Volume 2 number 1, Iceman Volume 3 number 1, Iron Fist Volume 5 number 2, Jessica Jones number 9, Rocket number 2, and Secret Empire of Brave New World number 1. A whole lot of comics this week. That's not even all of them. This week they dropped a whole bunch of them, so that's just some of the sort of outliers that I saw. But there's a ton of them, so make sure you check out your comic book store. Now, it wasn't only comics that had a big week this week. Toys and collectibles had another big week. So starting that off, we have the Wonder Woman movie 1/12 collective action figure by Mezco. They're high quality, got a lot of materials, got a lot of textures. And this thing is going to run you $80. We're also getting Batman the Animated Series Funko Pops Wave 2. This one I'm so excited for. They got some great characters in there. I can't wait to get Phantasm and Clayface and Scarecrow and Bane. Oh, and Catwoman. Oh man, it's going to be great. The chase on that looks fantastic. We're also getting a Flash TV series Reverse Flash RFX statue. Of course, Kotobukiya added again with a 6.5-inch tall 1/10 scale reverse Flash figure. This is going to be $69.99. Beast Kingdom has introduced a new series called the D-Select series, which allows you to put together the Disney diorama of your dreams. It recreates classic movie characters and scenes with expert professional techniques. That's their words, not mine. This thing is 6 inches tall. They'll run you $27.99, and they dropped 4 of them. We got Big Hero 6, Zootopia, Lilo and Stitch, and Disney Tsum Tsums. That's kind of cool. These things actually look very nice.
They're really cool. I think I'm going to have to pick up one.
Speaking of Wonder Woman, we got a Wonder Woman movie Play Arts Kai action figure. These things, of course, are very detailed and, of course, expensive. This one will run you $149. We're also getting an adorable Thor animated statue by Gentle Giant. This thing will run you $64.99. Now, check this thing out. This thing is really cool. It's a Punisher Collector's Gallery statue. This thing is 1/8 scale and $160. I love the artwork on this. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And really something we don't have yet. I haven't seen anything like this on the market yet. Overwatch fans were finally getting good action figures. Figma is coming out with a Tracer action figure that is 5.5 inches tall and will run you $71.99. One Punch Man fans, Funko Pops are coming out. You're getting Genos, Lord Boros, and of course, One Punch Man. Kotobukiya is still making amazing statues. This time they're doing a DC Comics Super Sons, Jonathan Kent, and Crypto Artifacts statue 2-pack. Now, Jonathan will be 5 3/4 inches tall, and Crypto will be 3 inches tall, and this thing will set you back $65. If you follow Interbay, you know they have an amazing lineup of 1/6 scale NBA players. Well, they've created a new series where they're 1/9 scale. They're cheaper, but they seem to be just as detailed. Well, they've revealed they're doing an NBA collection Michael Jordan motion masterpiece. It has a 1/9 scale body and features 34 points of articulation. This thing will run you back $179.99, but I'm gonna say that's gonna be worth it. But can we get some more 90s players? Let's throw a Reggie Miller in there. Appreciate it. Hot Toys has also revealed that in their Spider-Man Homecoming set, they're going to be coming out with a deluxe version. In the deluxe version, Spider-Man is going to have a school blazer, a zip-up hoodie, and a vulture helmet to go along with what you're already getting in the normal version. This thing's going to run you $251.99. I cannot wait for this movie. And finally, NECA has been revealing their convention exclusives this year, and they did not disappoint with this one that we heard this week. It is an exclusive Coraline display set. This thing has a 7-inch bendy Coraline doll. The box folds out to create a spooky scene that includes LED lights, which is really neat. It's $40 and it's limited to 3,000 pieces. That one might be a little difficult to get.
I really want this one. This one's really cool.
I gotta be honest, NECA is just impressing the crap out of me.
Every time they come out with something new, I'm like, oh, really? You can do that? Oh my god, I want it.
I've always stated I'm not a big action figure collector, and I never have been, besides like in box. But man, NECA, you're changing me, man. You're changing me. You're
converting us.
Alrighty, guys, so that was nerdy news this week. A short nerdy news, I believe. I don't know. I haven't edited it yet, but I think it was short. Yes. Not a whole lot of news this week, and of course we cut out video games because next week will be a special, an E3 special.
Right.
But some bad news this week.
I know, some devastating news. Not bad news, it's devastating.
Devastating news. So guys, in the comments, tell us your stories about Adam West. Why did he mean a lot to you, if he did mean a lot to you? And we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.